Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. It's week 4 in college football. Today is Tuesday, September 20th, and we are talking with Ross Benjamin. Always breaks these games down super well and has a great record ATS in our videos long term, as some people have gone on to. We're going to talk about the TCU SMU game, which goes on Friday. An interesting game, Mike Brenner. We both liked TCU last week, and they just barely didn't cover against Iowa State. They won by 21, although they did cover the first half, and I also did bet the first half.
Oh, did you?
I bet the first half, but I didn't give it in the
Yeah, you didn't call me either and let me in on it.
I thought that the value was there for both on both bets, and they just barely missed out against Iowa State. So that's
got to share the wealth, Pete.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, share the wealth, baby.
That was probably just a coin flip that flipped in my favor. But TCU is now 0-3 against the spread. SMU 3-0 against the spread. The line has gone down. Right now it's 21, down from the opener of 23. The Greek is hanging 21.5. Last year TCU won by only 19. So I don't know. Maybe TCU a little bit overvalued once again. Before we hear what Ross Benjamin has to say about it, what do you think, Mike Brenner?
Yeah, well, TCU, they bit me pretty hard last week. What I'm noticing, they're not covering big spreads now. And what I see also that's a concern, last week against Iowa State, all right, they lost the time of possession battle, 33 minutes to 27 minutes. That's concerning for me, for a team that is, has spreads that are double digits. Now, SMU, I understand they lost 40-13 at Baylor, but let's not forget, it was 6-6 at halftime in that game. So, SMU knows how to show up and play on the road against a good team or at home for early spots and for minutes. And now, if they could put that together, I think they got a shot in covering this with the points. But this is one, me personally, I'm so far away from this one, I can't stand it.
All right, Ross Benjamin, SMU 3-0 against the spread so far. TCU 0-3. Is 21 points too much, not enough, or just right?
I think so, Pete, and I'm going to take the hook here in this position as well. If you don't get it at 21.5, buy it a half a point here. It's not a key number. Yep. I'm more concerned, Mike, with TCU's defense. They've been very vulnerable in that area so far. And I mean, you look at their opening game in which they allowed 41 points to South Dakota State. Woo. And we're actually losing that game late in the third quarter. Pete, you touched upon the fact this is a TCU team that hasn't covered in 3 games here. And also keep in mind, TCU has Oklahoma up next. So this is that proverbial look-ahead spot where you're facing this SMU team without a winning history in recent years. However, this is an SMU team off to a 2-1 start. They haven't had a winning record after 3 games since 2011. I think this will bode well for their confidence playing at home in front of a national TV audience. I'm going to have a lead here and take SMU plus the 21.5 points at home against the overvalued, in my opinion, TCU Horned Frogs.
All right, it is 21.5 at the Greek right now. We'll see where the line closes. Down from 23. Last year, TCU did win by only 19. So this might be another game where TCU basically gets a comfortable win, but just doesn't get it covered, just like with the Iowa State game.
Another fact that I saw last week that concerns me about TCU, and Ross touched on a great point. Yeah, that defense is vulnerable, definitely more so than years past. But another thing last week that concerns me is on third down conversion, 5 of 15. All right, that's not acceptable, especially when you're on the road. So they better tighten up. You got an SMU club. Their quarterback had a really good game at Baylor until the second half, and then he threw 3 picks. But if that kid gets confidence early at home, and TCU, I didn't even think about that. Again, Ross brought it up. Overlooked big time. This could be huge because Oklahoma looms right around the corner. Ooh, wow, this is one I got to stay away from. But if I had to go on a lean, I'm jumping on with Ross.
All right, SMU it is at plus 21.5, but Mike Brenner's not going to go official with it. Ross Benjamin, thanks so much, as always, for all your insights and your free leans here. Free leans and picks.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.